Last week, we started with the what question. What is Christian nationalism? This week in session 2, we explored the who and why questions. Who comprises the members of the Christian nationalist movement, and why did they get drawn into the movement in the first place? With a look at the overlapping groups that made up the stew of insurrectionists on January 6th and before and after. The deep need for belonging is a deep-seated human desire and certainly not unique to Christian nationalists as a group. Nevertheless, it's one of the motivating factors underlying people's attraction to Christian nationalism as a movement, factors Dr. Cooper-White unpacks for us in the second chapter of our text. In addition to providing the social connection, which is a basic human need, the movement combines two features that can initially draw people in and then hold them tight. First, a strong sense of spiritual purpose, and second, a means of acting on that purpose by engaging in a battle set up as a cosmic battle between good and evil. In the service of that battle, all truth except biblical truth becomes relative. And biblical truth is entwined with a narrow understanding of American history and of national destiny, and exceptionalism, which is disconnected from the aspirational American goal of liberty and justice for all, in order to perpetuate power and privilege for some. Now, democracy suffers and suffocates in this atmosphere, and space opens up for something else to supplant it. We're seeing those forces at work around the globe with the rise of strong men and oligarchies. And here in the United States, we're seeing a particular version of it wrapped in the flag and the cross and labeled Christian nationalism. And I've been convinced for quite some time that biblical literalism is a prime cause of the mess we find ourselves in as a nation. Yes, there are a complex set of factors that lead to the rise of populist, nationalist, sexist, xenophobic, white supremacist, homo-transphobic toxins that have contaminated our body politic and dominated our public discourse. And Dr. Cooper-White gives us a chance to explore them in this week's chapter. But incubating those factors into this particular set of toxins requires a kind of cultural petri dish, which will simultaneously provide the nutrients necessary to nourish the toxic worldview while protecting it from contaminants like data, facts, diversity, and multicultural competency. The biblical literalism foundational to 21st century American evangelicalism does exactly that. It feeds, waters, and fertilizes exclusively male language for God, marginalizing women and non-binary people, perpetuating the patriarchy, and fanning the fire of unexamined privilege, making a Putin-style oligarchy appear preferable to a democracy where brown and black women have voice and power. With that in mind, we turn now to chapter 2. Why people are drawn in by extremist beliefs, conscious needs, and unconscious lures. And these words written by Urban Holmes in his famous book, What is Anglicanism, back in 1982, nearly 40 years ago, ring as true to me today as they did the first time I read them. Scripture for the Anglican is a fundamental source of authority for the church. But apart from reason, it's dangerous. It becomes the mirror for the misdirected person to project their own opinions and give them the authority of God. So here we go with chapter 2.